Bonjour and welcome to French Action. Today it's all about oral expressions for DALF C1. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! Why is it necessary to have new expressions for C1? Well, at that level, examiners no longer want to hear je pense que, à mon avis. Just like in English, you need to show a wider range of vocabulary and a final register. Let's start with giving an opinion. You could say, il me semble que, it seems to me that. J'aurais tendance à penser que, I'm inclined to think that. Force est de constater que, we have to recognize that. How do you agree? And I added with sophistication, because of course you know how to say je suis d'accord. But what about those expressions? On ne peut qu'adhérer à cette idée. Indeed, one can only agree with this idea. Or, votre point de vue rejoint tout à fait le mien. Your point of view aligns perfectly with mine. Or, il est difficile de ne pas souscrire à cette idée. It is hard not to subscribe to this idea. I have to say, we don't like to hear je ne suis pas d'accord. So, I'm going to give you a few ideas as to how to disagree, and I add diplomatically. So you could say, je comprends votre point de vue, néanmoins, I understand your point of view, however, and then you continue and put your viewpoint. Or, permettez-moi de nuancer cette affirmation. Allow me to nuance this statement. Or, sans vouloir contredire, il me semble que, without wishing to contradict, it seems to me that. Or, tout en reconnaissant cela, force est de constater que, we had force est de constater que before, but I put it here in the disagreeing box. While acknowledging this, one must recognize that, or we must recognize that. How do you elaborate and develop an idea? These are my suggestions. Pour étayer mon propos, je dirais que to support my point, I would say that il convient d'ajouter que it's worth adding that. Ce qui m'amène à dire que, which leads me to say that, and the last expression, which you may know, en d'autres termes, in other words. How do you nuance an argument? You could say, certes. I like certes because it's very short, but it's very meaningful. It means immediately, but you say certes, and you say your piece, néanmoins. Okay, so it's certes and néanmoins, admittedly, nevertheless. Or, cela dit, which you may know already, having said that. Il convient toutefois de nuancer. It's necessary, however, to put this into perspective. Dans une certaine mesure, in some respects. Sometimes you may need to redirect a question or just buy time. So how do you do that? You could say, c'est une question qui mérite réflexion. And réflexion has an X, as you can see, an X and not a C. Okay? Réflexion, that's a question worth reflecting on. Or you could say, si je comprends bien votre question, if I understand your question correctly. Or, avant de répondre, permettez-moi de préciser. Before answering, allow me to clarify, and you continue. You could also say, c'est justement ce point qui m'interpelle. It's precisely this point that strikes me. Or, pour reprendre votre idée et l'approfondir, to take your idea further, I think you have more than enough expressions to redirect and buy time. Choose the expressions you can remember and learn them by heart. All the best with your exam. Au revoir!